I'm on a bike, and you clicked a video, so you want to be on a bike too. Chances are, if you're just looking into it, the three concerns that are holding you back are safety, practicality, and fun. In addition to getting a bike, I can go over some easy things to acquire as a beginner that'll improve all three of those categories and maybe help you make the decision. First off is safety. It's a valid concern to be safe on something that doesn't have airbags, doesn't have a seatbelt, isn't required to be sold with anti-lock brakes. Yeah, you can be concerned about safety, but there's one big thing that's going to make the largest improvement. You're not going to guess. Ta-da! Yeah, it's a helmet. You knew I'd talk about it. Out of all the pieces of safety gear, the helmet shows the largest percentage of results, preventing the most injuries and mitigating the most serious injuries. 'Cause it's your head, you need that. But even when we're not talking about a crash, a helmet has other advantages. This is going to redirect the wind that you get at highway speeds around your head instead of right to your ears, so it'll protect your hearing. It protects your eyes with this visor. You can tell mine was riding yesterday and caught all these bugs that would have otherwise been caught on my face. And you can get a comm system for helmets that connects with your phone and connects with other comm systems, so you can speak to somebody from your motorcycle with speakers right in the helmet. Here's something I wish I knew, because it was such an easy fix. A buff, or a neck gaiter, if you will. It's nothing but a cloth tube with some stretch to it. Once you buy it, you'll see on the packaging there's like 8 different ways to wear it, and then I'm sure just a bunch of weird ways that don't make a ton of sense. Where this comes in handy is in conjunction with your helmet, because the helmet makes your ride quieter. You can still hear your bike, you can still hear traffic, but you're not just hearing that blast of wind. But the helmet's weak point for wind is right around the bottom, where it meets with your neck. Wind still gets up and through, so if you wear this around your neck like so, the helmet seats really well, and it's the quietest helmet experience that I've personally had. Additionally, if you're like me, bald, the little tiny stubbles of hair that'll grow in hours after shaving can sometimes catch, just irritatingly so, on the helmet lining. Pulling the buff up just before putting your helmet on protects the helmet from all your little tiny stubble. The other problem, though, is if you have long hair that would come out of the back of the helmet, the wind is going to play with your hair the whole time. Now, of course, you could braid it, but another simple solution would be, I can't very well demonstrate because I can't grow hair on a moment's notice, but get it in the buff, put the buff over the top of your head, your hair is in here, helmet on, the wind can't tangle it. Buffs like these will come in a whole variety of different colors and patterns. I chose this one partially because it was on sale, but every solid color you can imagine, you can have it. Topographic maps, camo, the cosmos, really anything. The rest of your riding gear is mostly going to consist of a jacket. There are riding pants available, although I'm not wearing them right now, and riding shoes, though once again, not wearing those currently. They come in a lot of varieties, from the full tracksuit style to something that looks very casual. They make riding pants that look a lot like the pants I'm currently wearing, but they have armor in the knees and Kevlar boxers built in, essentially. They make motorcycle shoes that look like skate shoes. Or boots, work boots. The armored motorcycle jacket has armor here, here, and here. This one's made of a breathable mesh. It's not hot, despite it being hot today, and I'm wearing all black. It's very breathable. In fact, yesterday I got off the bike and went for a small hike. Didn't take this off. Didn't get hot. Riding gear comes in a lot of different styles. So whereas if you want more pops of color, little high visibility stripes, and maybe a noticeable kind of khaki as the main body, that exists. Adventure gear's for you. And if you want something that looks a bit more casual, something you could wear, I think this kind of fits the bill. It looks like a black jacket. Even the reflectix that's on it is a bit more muted when not hit by a headlight. How could we not talk about gloves? That's where those go. Because if they do fall down, you didn't fall directly on your hands. Yeah, I'll try to play that off. Gloves are great. These have memory foam pads in the palms, which cut down on the vibrations you feel through the handlebars. That cuts down on the fatigue you get when you're riding for an extended amount of time. They're reinforced with little rubberized padding on the top, so you can hit something and not feel it near as much. The stitching is doubled up, oftentimes triple layer in certain spots, all for crash protection and general comfort in wearing. Try on a whole bunch of gloves. Once again, they make them in so many different styles. As far as practicality goes, you're probably thinking you'll mostly stick with your car for just about any trip where you have to get anything. But that doesn't have to be true. There's a very, very simple way to carry things on your motorcycle, and it works with every motorcycle. A backpack. Now I can carry stuff. Backpacks come in a variety of sizes and styles. Look how much space this one has, for instance. I think it's a 20-liter, and it's military style, so it's got the cool molly strapping on the outside if that's your jam. But personally, the one I'd recommend is a hiking style backpack. Not only does it incorporate high visibility features into it for visibility and more safety, but you can often get them with hydration bladders. Doesn't really sound appealing when you call it a bladder, but it's a big bag of water, so it's kind of great. With the hydration bladder, you can fish this up through your helmet and take a drink at a stoplight, at a stop sign, really anywhere. And if you don't quite have the muscle memory for it, at least when you pull over, you can still reach this up underneath instead of having to dismount your bike, get into your backpack, find your water bottle, take your helmet off, drink out of the water bottle, and then reverse the process. It's so much quicker, more convenient, and you still have the storage. The pack is very flat, and just against my back here, the rest of this backpack is still largely open for anything else I need. Small grocery trips, little picnic type outing, very versatile, can be added to any bike. The other thing you can add to most bikes is called a tank bag. You can find them at the motorcycle stores, you can find them on Amazon, or Cycle Gear. Essentially, it's a little zipper-topped bag that has these magnetic wings, so to speak, that go around the tank and magnetize to it. So then you have a bag right here, where it's an easy reach pretty much all the time you're on the bike. Most of them even have a clear pocket on the top where you can put your phone, so you can see the screen, you'll know who's calling you, and you can answer through your helmet. There's also side bags that go on exposed pieces of frame, strapped to a different piece of frame. Those will fit on most bikes, and tail bags that go underneath the seat and strap to the top. Again, they'll fit on most bikes. Some bikes will sell a cargo rack. Check the internet, see if the bike you like does. I can mount anything here, as you see. I have bungees and netting, so I can carry more things on the cargo rack. Another piece of practicality would be a phone mount that you can stick onto your handlebars and have your phone basically here in plain view again. I know Quad Lock makes a case and a vibration dampening mount that is pretty much top notch. But if you don't feel like spending the money on the quad lock, you can check the rest of the internet. Other phone mounts exist. The third consideration is how much fun is a bike? And personally, I think they're already very fun. There's a certain primal feel you get on a bike that feels more right. Kind of like the horseback riding that mankind has done for, what, millennia at this point? It feels like the evolution of that, in a way. With the horsepower race that cars are having right now, with 700 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, etc., that seems like the way to have fun, right? Well, it's all subjective. You're gonna feel faster on something smaller, where you see the road blazing by you at lightning speed, even when you're not going that fast, even without breaking the speed limit, which I can't condone. Bikes feel fast. The road's right there. There's nothing around you. Cars are so soundproofed, so well shock absorbing. It kind of just feels like your living room and your big screen TV in the front, the windshield, is showing the world moving. Especially with EVs that don't even make that guttural sound of an engine screaming. Bikes are so simple and real, and they feel fun, and there's that input to steer, to shift, everything. You feel so connected to it. So bikes are fun off the rip. But back to the backpack. Because once you're out on the scenic roads, scenic usually means it has at least 2 trees. In between those 2 trees you found, you can set up a hammock and take a little break and just hammock for a bit out in the peace and quiet of whatever scenic route you found. This is an inexpensive 2-person hammock I got on Amazon. You can obviously sit in it as 1 person and be twice as comfortable. Room to spread around. It comes with tree straps. It's very easy to set up. It's very lightweight and relatively small. I mean, this becomes a big hammock. You can lay in it. You can sit sideways in it. Use it as almost just a swing while you're in the hammock. Listen to music. Bring some earphones. Or if you're well out into the sticks and you got no coverage anymore, bring your favorite book. With your backpack and your hammock, you afforded yourself the time to relax after getting out there on the motorcycle for maybe your first couple of times. I mean, it's definitely not the vibe for everyone. Maybe you'd rather be carving up the roads there and back with no break, full adrenaline, but you have the option.
There are some other things I forgot to mention that I keep in my bag at all times. One is a microfiber cloth, which is great for wiping the visor of your helmet. I guess it could also be used for wiping your bike down if you really need it to look better, but I would save it for your visor. The other is this. It's a luggage lock that I got on Amazon. The cable comes out of here. You could wrap it through your backpack straps, you could wrap it through your helmet around the chin bar, and then affix it somewhere on your bike, such as around a mirror. Keeps your stuff safe while you wander off. It's very small, it's very lightweight, and it's a good theft deterrent. I also carry a power bank and a charger. These hardly take up any room at all, and they go in the top pocket. So some quick side notes that I thought now, after I already recorded the main bit, is back to the backpack. We're going to be talking about how there's so many different types of backpacks, and I did say you can choose on style, but another reason I recommend the hiking one is because it has a sternum and a waist strap that go sideways across your body at chest and waist height. And once you get those cinched up, it kind of alleviates the feel of a lot of the weight that's in the backpack and keeps it relatively well secured side to side when you're moving on the motorcycle. So as far as loading it down and finding it the easiest to ignore, like you're wearing nothing, I'd say that's another point for the hiking pack. Yeah, it's raining quite a bit now. And there's a ton of videos out in the world already about beginner gear. And the reason why I don't feel like my video is so redundant is because I'm not talking about beginner gear. I'm not making recommendations that you should get only inexpensive things. Not all the things I suggested were motorcycle gear specifically. You know, quite a few of the things that I showed you, you'd just as easily get from REI or a camping store. So I'm going to recommend things that change your life in better ways, like the Buff, rather than try to upsell on a helmet that has an inflatable neck ring at, 3 times the cost of a helmet you otherwise like. Here's another good thing about having a bike. You saw I was getting a little low on fuel there a little bit ago. I just filled it up, $6.50 at roughly $3.10 a gallon. Yeah, this video was more so for people who are prospectively interested in getting a bike and just wanted to know, would it be a good decision? Would it be more usable than they might have originally thought? Or if you just got a bike and you haven't purchased maybe all the gear that you ought to have yet. As far as any questions you have, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. It doesn't matter how simple a question it is. It's not the judgment zone. This is a video intended for new riders and prospective riders who have never even sat on a motorcycle yet. So it is the perfect place to ask questions that might seem a bit simple, because it's not. If it's a question you've got in your mind about an interest you may want to pick up, it's a valid question.